makes me feel like a man.
You want every team to lose any other game? Sorry. Baby Zappy just put another dime. Wait. Time out. Are you kidding? That's what I'm trying to drop a mic. Welcome to the Warner Brothas Podcast. I'm Kyle, joined as always by my brother Keenan. And we got Branndon and Duk back in the building. Very happy to have you guys back. Listen, we bring out the big dogs when it's an important episode. And we got a very important episode for you guys today. We're doing a part of our Warner Brothas Podcast album series. We did Drake, we did Kanye, and now we're doing Kendrick Lamar. It is the summer of Kendrick Lamar, in my opinion. First of all, how's everyone doing today? How y'all doing?
You guys go. You
Y'all
guys
ready?
haven't been here in a while. Go.
This was
Not too
Keenan's
bad.
Super Bowl. That's all I know. This was
Super
Keenan's
Bowl.
fucking Super Bowl. So that's.
Yeah, I'd say it's
But
cute.
dude, Brandon, how y'all doing? We miss you guys.
I told you I could barely hear you, and then I'm like, all right, man. I'm just
Duke
trying
can't
to
hear, you know.
You can't hear, Duke can't see.
He can't hear, you can't see. He's got 40p on the camera.
Not even
Dude
480p.
does look like he's
just
coming in a
40.
little bit
He's
better.
like
It's
one,
just 40. There's no more 8 now.
he has the 144p to where it's just so pixelated you can't even tell. It's
That's
just
crazy.
Like, it's
It
just
looked like the hot box from back in the day, just
Yeah.
seeing green and orange.
he's like a pixelated flip book to where like everything's a still shot, but you just have to flip
You
it.
just
to
gotta
the
keep
next.
moving mad
You just
fast.
have to continue to flip it to the next one, not one continuous motion. But yeah, no, you're right. This is my Super Bowl. I've been wanting to do this Kendrick album forever. I've been wanting to do Kendrick features. This is the summer of Kendrick, so this is my guy. This took me a while. I've listened through my own album about 7 times to make sure it flows properly and that I'm doing him justice. So no, this meant a lot to me. I feel like I got an MVP. Yeah, then this one means a lot to me, boys.
The fans gotta vote.
No, man, this one okay.
For sure. So for the audience who might not be familiar,
Yeah.
Keenan and I and Andrew Franklin, friend of the show in the past, did a personal album, one of Drake, one of Kanye, and you can go listen to those on DSPs. This is actually the first album podcast we've done via video, so that's cool. But
Yes.
Basically the rules are pretty simple. You take from an artist's discography. For example, for Drake, or in this case, Kendrick today, I'll use him as an example. You can use Damn, you can use Section 80, you can use, all of his major releases, all of his album releases, and put together what you think is a dope album. 12 tracks. We came up with an album cover for each of our tracks. We came up with an album name for each of our albums. So, pretty much like you were gonna make your own album. However, it could be greatest hit style. I mean, I'll let the people explain once we get to each other's turn. But I think we all each made this individually a certain way. So it's always interesting to see, what people's albums come out like, what each concept comes out like, and I'm very interested to see what y'all got. Who wants to start? Does anybody have any opening statements before we start?
I don't know. Like I don't know how you guys did your name, but I always do my name kind of like a creative way to put like the albums together. I don't know if you guys have a name, or I know Andrew Franklin had an album photo for last time when we did Drake and kind of things like that, because I don't know how in depth you guys went for it, but I do love my name and I do love everything about it. I'm willing to go last, to be quite honest with you.
Wow.
I'm willing to go last. I want to hear what everyone else has. I'm guaranteeing I have one. I have probably 4 or 5 songs that no one has, but I guarantee I have one that no one probably even thought of. So who does want to start right now with this between Branndon and Duk? You guys have been gone the
I
longest.
think I got the best list, so I don't want to go first, but I'll go.
I'll go first. All
right, Brandon.
Because I just
right,
threw
Brandon.
mine together. I mean, really.
It just got done.
Not
His
even
is
yet.
really. He had the untitled, unmastered version of Kendrick's album.
I just came up with a name too, because I'm going to be honest with you. I like swiped out of the group chat really quick. Did not see the part about an album name. Don't know how I did, but I just came up with one first thing I could think of. So,
Yeah.
I'm ready to get after it.
All right. Okay, let's get active, buddy. What's your name?
All right, so I'm doing
What's
this.
What's your name, girlfriend? What's your name? Sorry.
I'm doing this in a sense of like it's like a kind of like a greatest hits, but it's not the greatest hits. You know what I mean? Like that name.
Mm-hmm.
So the name of my album playlist, whatever you want to go with, is going to be the Compton Collection.
I like it.
Kendrick being from Compton, California. It's the first thing I could think of, so I just went with it. So my opening track, I'm pretty sure, I copied Section 80. My opening track's going to be A.D.H.D.
F Your Ethnicity is the first one on Section 80, but yes.
Yeah, no, his opening track. It's mine too. So
No. He was saying he copied Section 80. That's what I was saying. But
I couldn't remember if it was.
Nah, that's Fuck Your Ethnicity for sure. But A.D.H.D. is number 3 right there.
Yeah.
So I got A.D.H.D. at number 1. Coming in at number 2, I have Cushion Corinthians with BJ the Chicago Kid. Off of To Pimp a Butterfly. Or no, sorry, that's Section 80 as well too. Third, I have Keisha's song. It's another good cut.
My goodness gracious! That one. I'm not gonna say whether it was on or not, but we were talking before. I had like a 40-piece, no fry, and then I brought it down to 16, and that was within the 16. That was absolutely within the 16. I'm not gonna say whether it's there or not, but it was within the 16. That was a reason why behind it too.
Okay. So my fourth song is the biggest song on here. I tried to cater my album to like the lesser known cuts.
Okay.
And I tried to keep a certain vibe. I didn't want to get too turned up with my album because I wanted to go away from that because I feel like a lot of people that listen to Kendrick Lamar don't really listen to these kind of songs. They go towards, like we were talking before we got on, your Mad City, Silent Hill, the song with Kodak Black, like stuff like that. It's like up tempo and stuff. So my fourth track is Poetic Justice with Drake.
With Aubrey?
Classic.
Yeah, with Aubrey. With
Certified
Aubrey
Lover Boy? Certified Pet? What?
Whoa.
And it's probably
Branndon.
You should have called it the Bomp. You should have called it the Bompton Collection. You got all the B-sides.
Oh man.
So, that's
talking Poetic Justice.
That's 4. Fifth, I have How Much a Dollar Cost.
Okay.
Oh my god.
That's my fifth.
That's my okay. Man, we'll get.
I just got no idea how hard it was for me.
I just gotta say,
we'll get that one later.
Listen. I could save this for after, but we all need to get together and do the next album in person. I don't know who that album will be, what artist that'll be, because we need to be able to play these songs.
Oh, that'd be dope.
30 seconds,
I agree.
15 second snippet when we're announcing these songs, because I want to hear what the sequencing sounds like. This sounds like a dope album, but the sequencing will give it even that extra flair. You know what I mean? So we definitely got to do this in person.
Hey, we still got the live show coming soon. Like we still got Summer we can get in mid-August.
We do.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll be podding. Go ahead, my fault.
No, you're good. That's my fifth track. That's one of my favorite songs off of To Pimp a Butterfly with old James F.
That's your guy, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's your guy.
love him. He's one of my favorite R&B artists. It just doesn't make enough music. I'd like to see him put out a lot more. For number 6, I have These Walls, Dana Wise and Thundercat. That's another. I was telling Duke actually before y'all hopped in. Thundercat's one of my favorite artists. I think his production is amazing. And I think he makes just honestly amazing music. So I had to throw that one on there. That's one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs. For 7, I have Lust. Lust is another great song.
BP, you messing me up, boy. I swear to God.
very
I could
underrated
vibe out to
Kendrick
this
song.
list. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Ooh, that
Very
was
underrated.
random. That's random. I love it, but that's random.
It's very random. It's very random. But that's one of my favorite Kendrick songs. I love that song. At 8, I have Triple X with U2.
Okay.
Another one of my favorite Kendrick songs.
You got a Drake and a
9,
YouTube feature.
At 9, I went with Die Hard with Blast off of Mr. Morale and the Big
man.
Steppers.
Already gained more respect for this guy.
Yo, what?
More respect
Beyond.
That's my 9th one.
You a real fan.
Yeah, that's my 9th one. For 10, I was going to throw Money Trees in here, but I feel like Money Trees is a little too mainstream. Love Money Trees. It's an amazing song. So what I'm going to go with, instead of Money Trees, I'm going to go with The Black or the Berry off of To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
So that's going to be number 10.
I would say that's more mainstream than Money Trees, but I feel you. With the style of your album, I feel you. You got to think one's a single, one's not. But with the style of your album, it sounds perfect in flow.
I feel like Black or the Berry is almost a deep cut for Kendrick.
Black or the Berry was the second single off that.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it was.
Video, Money Trees ain't got none of that. That just went off the strength. But
Money Trees is a Kendrick anthem.
We're not even gonna talk about it.
Parked our car and we start rhyming.
Another one is on my list. Well, I'll just admit it. It's on mine.
So for number 11, excuse me, another one of my favorite songs, Father Time featuring Sampha. That's another great song. And then number 12.
Yo, Ma.
I think 12. I think my last track was kind of. I could have probably ended it a little bit better, but this might be my favorite Kendrick Lamar song, period, out of anything he's ever put out. And that's Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst.
Thank you, yo. This is my favorite list. I don't even care about my list no more.
That's my closing track.
Dying of Thirst itself is the most Kendrick Lamar best rap, but conscious,
got like a
sonically beautiful song ever with a message like Dying of Thirst. I mean, sing About Me to Dying of Thirst. Amazing. Yo, this is
Brandon. I feel like you got a lot of
list on Apple Music, and it'd be like the introspective Kendrick Lamar list. That's what the list need to sound like. You got it. The deep cut shit. You got it, bro.
That's what I was gonna say. It seems like there's a lot of different vibes on this album, but there's still the deeper songs on his album. You know what I mean? Like Poetic Justice, that'd be like a single for sure. But a lot of these are just like deep, multi-layered songs. I was gonna say about Father Time, the one featuring Sampha. My only issue with that song is every time I hear the intro to it, I think of like fucking Willy Wonka or some shit. So that's my only thing with the intro to that song. Other than that, obviously a great song. You can't go wrong with a lot of Kendrick.
I thought about, to be honest with you,
the beginning of that song just reminds me of some Willy Wonka shit. That's all. Like, I don't even know.
Willy Wonka. So I thought about taking that one out and putting either The Art of Peer Pressure or there's another one that I thought of off of To Pimp a Butterfly. I think it might have been Institutionalized.
Institutionalized with Snoop, yeah.
Yeah, that was I wanted to throw that one on there because I love that song as well too. But I mean, honestly, I could have went 20 songs on this. Like really, like, I could release a deluxe edition.
Yeah, the deluxe album about to sound crazy, bro. I didn't go. You released this 12. This would have been like, who is this guy?
Brandon, I got a question for you. We put you on the spot with the album name.
Okay.
If there was an album cover, what would it be?
If you don't have it quite yet, we can get back to you. But if you have it, please go.
I don't have it quite yet. Let me go to the drawing board.
And you could go blank. You could go Yeezus style and go blank.
Yeah, I could do that.
You could just take like the Untitled Green and just go with it.
Yeah. Honestly, if you're smart, just take the picture of the Compton Street because you smoked.
I was about to say like a black background with that, or like the green with the Compton Street sign kind of like faded out in the background.
Ooh, okay.
kind of like on the Heart Part 4, or like you said, like the Untitled, like doing like a solid color like that, and then in the background you have the Compton street sign, like, and maybe like the picture of like the street corner of Compton, and just having it like faded out to where it's not really like super visible, but it's visible enough that you can tell what you're looking at.
Okay.
That sounds dope.
Alrighty. I love this album. As a Kendrick fan, like a through and through Kendrick fan, we do have some of the same songs on here, and I'm really glad. But I'm super happy about this album. I truly am. Kyle or Duke, which one wants to go next?
We'll go Kyle. We'll go friend, brother. Because like I said, I feel like I smoked this, but like right now, BP has my favorite album. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I mean, I hope so. He's the only one that said one.
I'm the only one. If I'm not,
I'm saying I know my album. Like my album was for the people. His album was for me. Like, dog, we about to zen out and go crazy. Put the strobe lights on. It's about to get.
Honestly, I put a lot of songs on here that when I smoke, I listen to.
That's what I mean.
Like,
I was about to.
And even like if I'm chilling at the house, like if I put my headphones in, like the shit that I listen to. You know, so like
I'm actually if that was your mindset, I'm surprised you didn't put "Blow My High."
Please don't lie.
So I actually was going to, but I was like, I didn't want to do that because I don't know. I felt like it would have fit in, but like I kind of wanted to go like a little.
I'm not arguing with your 12. I'm just saying you were talking about that, and "Blow My High" is a perfect song. "Blow My High" is a perfect song for that. But
a lot of Kendrick's music's good smoking music, and I gotta be honest, that was kind of the same approach as mine. Especially early Kendrick. That was a lot of my approach. I was like, what would I like to hear when I'm smoking? You could even call this a quasi smoke album if you want to call it that. I love the vibes on my album. Yeah, right. Listen. The hardest part of this album for me was the title, the album title, and the album cover. Branndon, me and you are going to share basically an album title. Mine's just called Compton with a K, obviously for Kendrick. That could have some gang undertones.
You did that for me.
I really could not.
I did it.
I could not come up with anything else. Like I truly struggled to come up with an album name. My album cover is actually a pair of black Nike Cortezes out of the Kendrick collection over one of the shoe boxes. So that's dope.
Okay.
And I was telling you guys before we started, I said my intro was literally up until about, I would say 5 hours ago, was my outro. And was like my dead set outro. And then I heard it play back through to my intro. And I'm like, damn, that actually makes more sense that way. So keep that in mind, that originally what's my number 2 track was my number 1 for a long time. And then what is my intro, which is just released this summer, just released a couple months ago. Didn't really kick off this beef, but it took it to another level, and that's Euphoria. I mean, what can you say about it? It sounds like an intro track, so I think it fits perfectly.
100%.
Kendrick is floating on this track. I mean, he is absolutely just peeved at Drake. He's on 10 on this track, and you know,
especially after you watch the performance. I don't know if y'all watched the performance, but if you watch the performance, it feels a lot different after that. It feels a lot different after that.
No, it does.
I still got to catch that whole show in full. I still got to catch that whole performance.
That's a fire show. Man, ain't gonna lie.
Listen, we talked about it when the Future album dropped, how this was going to be a hot summer as far as hip hop goes. I certainly thought it was a possibility that this could be the summer of Kendrick, but I mean, this is a summer like we haven't seen in quite some time. Like this has truly been a moment in hip hop that I don't think we've had in quite some time. So I got Euphoria. I think the intro to it is dope anyway. I think it fits as an intro or an outro. It fits anywhere in your album. But I think the slow progress into, what Kendrick ends up doing in the middle of the track when he bodies Drake.
What is it, the braids?
You walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. If I can,
and then so now, remember, I said track two was originally my intro. Now think about how Euphoria ends. What's he say? Like, I hate when you say the word nigga, or stop saying the word nigga, right?
Yeah.
Goes into Blacker the Berry. Track 2, Blacker the Berry.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We don't want to hear you say nigga no more.
That's nice.
Goes right into Blacker the Berry. So I love that transition. And Blacker the Berry was my intro because it's super hard. Yeah, exactly.
I'm the biggest hypocrite of 2000.
Blacker the Berry is my favorite Kendrick beat. Blacker the Berry is my favorite Kendrick beat.
that is a good
I know a lot of people really like Backseat Freestyle and fucks the other one off Good Kid, Mad City. Mad City's the other one that a lot of people like. But Blacker the Berry, I think that's the hardest track Kendrick's ever rapped on. Goes perfect after Euphoria. He's spazzing on it literally. Then we go into Duckworth off of Damn. Bring it down a little bit. Still hip hop over a little. It's like a New York beat. One of my favorite Kendrick tracks. I actually think all 12 of my tracks have great beats. Like this is a pure hip hop album.
That's a great song, but that's so random.
It's
a Smoke album for Duckworth?
It's a Smoke album, but it's also just a straight hip hop album. I feel like this is some of the best.
I'm glad y'all got mad cohesive with y'all albums because I did not.
I started that way.
Y'all are some cynical niggas right now. Right?
So here's the thing, dude.
Shit, man, thought out.
Kyle and I have done this a few times. I mean, Branndon made his sense with his too, so he just came in knowing what's what. But like Kyle and I have done this multiple times, so we've learned to like, especially because Drake was first, and so it was like with Drake, you really could just throw a playlist together because he just has a collection of songs. Then we did Kanye next, and it was like Kanye has so much good production that like I made everything flow in and out. With Drake's, I did a 2-sided disc. I took the Scorpion theme and put like an R&B side and an actual rap side and did it how he should have done it.
Me and you both did that R&B hip hop thing with the Drake one.
No, I watched that.
So I had it flow. But yeah, sorry, Kyle, to interrupt. But
no, you're good. No, you're good. I mean, I feel like. I put more effort into this album, I feel like, than the Kanye and the Drake one, as far as like listening back and hearing how they flow. Yeah. What's up, Keenan?
I said, of course I did, but that makes sense. Not that I hated on those. I mean, I put a lot of time and effort.
12, the 13, the 12 again.
I put like Keenan cut down from 40 tracks. I cut down from 18. Like I
Keenan put in a fucking iPad. What's the passkey code? You know when they be like strong password? That way you start it out. You gotta hit other option.
Like 28 characters.
I would say I listened back to this album for the perfect sequencing that I wanted. I would say over the last day, I would say probably something like 5 to 8 times. You know, so my sequencing I think is A1. Like I really think I killed it with this. But let me keep going. So I went Euphoria. I got Blacker the Berry, Duckworth. Right? Just hip hop, like straight hip hop. We go into an anthem, Money Trees, one of my favorites. The album gets kind of lo-fi from here. This is really when it gets to its like smoke music peak right here. So you got Duckworth, still kind of gritty, still kind of slow. Then you get to Money Trees. Then we go into God, which I feel like is a cousin of Duckworth on that album. So you got I feel like, which one has the Kid Capri intro on it? Is that Duckworth or God? I get those two mixed up.
But I mean, sorry, I was kidding at the end of it.
Duckworth's the one where he's like, "What happens on Earth stays on Earth."
Yes,
yeah,
God. But he does that in the beginning too.
That's what God be like.
That's right. Yeah,
Heaven to the bank, like
Exactly.
That's one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs ever, bro.
Who you talking to?
I prayed that shit. I'm like, this is what God be like.
Like I said with this album, it's all good. It's all good vibes. It's all good lyrics, and these are all beats. Like I feel like I'm 5 for 5 on these beats right now. After God, we're going to Poor Man's Dream, Section 80. Smoke good, eat good, drink good. I mean, come on. It's just all lyrics, it's all beats. Then we go into Feel after that from Damn. Kendrick kills that. That's one of my. That's Kendrick rapping on the highest level, I believe. Kendrick's just kind of blacking out. And that's not even, I feel like that's probably the most plain beat on my album, Feel. But I don't know, Kendrick does that beat justice. I feel like he's rapping at his highest level on that. From there, we go to Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, remix with Jay-Z.
Man, that's why I fucks with you.
Can't go wrong with that.
I thought it was just me.
Mentioned,
I thought it was just me. I'm sorry.
Afro mentioned, Keenan mentioned this track before I got on. This is my all-time favorite Kendrick Lamar track, and that's Blow My High. It's an Aaliyah homage, and at the same time a Pimp C homage.
Pimp C, okay.
I'm putting that as
simple.
my number
It's
10.
simple.
Blow My High's going on a 10. Sorry.
Switching it out.
So you don't want
That's
Black
my-
of the Berry, or you don't want Father Time?
I don't want Black of the Berry. I gotta go Blow My High.
See, look at you. I bet you don't want Black of the Berry, Branndon.
Oh my fucking god! Here we go.
That was an easy one for Branndon to take out. Branndon was like, take the Black of the Berry out.
He lost all his core fans in one moment. Now he's trying to get them back.
Shit. All right. But yeah,
Wait,
man,
Kyle,
yo,
I have a quick question for you.
Deluxe edition.
Go ahead.
So you wanted to, I mean, I understand that obviously it's kind of been a little compilation of little everything with Kendrick. I'm surprised you went with the remix, knowing of what kind of the vibe you were going with, because obviously Kendrick comes in rapping more so on that one. Then Jay-Z has a really good verse, and then Kendrick's third verse seals the show. So I'm curious why you went that one, not the original or with the album cut.
I like this better than the original. First of all, I think Kendrick does lo-fi really well. And I feel like this part of my album with Poe Man's Dream, and After God, really. I feel like all those, and Money Trees included, I feel like all those are kind of lo-fi, right?
Yeah.
Like they're good beats,
Yeah.
but they're all lo-fi. So that's why Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe would be on there anyway. Again, I like the Jay-Z remix better. Listening back to it, I forgot how much Jay-Z killed it. Like that's a great Jay-Z verse. You could even say that's one of the last great Jay-Z verses we've gotten. Because this album drops in what, 12 or 11?
12.
2012.
Wait, 12. October.
Maybe even 13. That might have even came out in
I mean,
13.
October
Either way, we're
12.
over a decade.
Which one?
2012.
October
Good
12.
Kid,
Kid,
Mad
Mad
City?
City.
That's
Yeah.
2012.
October 22nd, 2012.
So I'm,
Guys,
You know, if
I'm
we're
trying to
talking
tell
the
you
last-
October 12.
Trust me, I know. I was there. I was there
we're
when
talking-
Section 80 dropped. Matter of fact, when Section 80 dropped, Kyle, you was there. And I was banging it off the speaker out my dorm room.
LSC Hornets. That was an era. That's you've heard me wax poetically about this early 2010s
Yeah,
mixtape
you
era.
know the vibe.
Where they might as well be albums, but that was a time.
That was the time. We do some wild stuff we ain't supposed to do.
Shit. Oh, Jay-Z's verse. So as I was saying, last 12
One
years,
of the best.
I don't
that
think
he
we've
had
gotten a
in
lot of
recent
whole
years.
verses. It seems like we get one maybe once a year, maybe an important whole verse, or maybe two a year, or maybe once every 2 years even. But to me, his remix verse on Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, I feel like that's one of his last important verses. He's obviously got God Did. He's done a few
Seen
other
It
Khaled
All.
tracks.
Nah, Top Off.
Seen It
Top
All.
Off went crazy.
Seen It All, but
low-key.
they're-
Or what was it? Top Off? What's the one he had with Beyonce and DJ? Khaled? Was it Top Off to Me Back? Or was it
I think
something
it
else?
might have.
He did. I
don't
mean,
even know which one you're
he
talking
had
about,
Shining. He had
That's what it was. Shining. That's what it was.
Shining.
Shining.
Yeah, he went
remember
crazy
that
on
one.
it.
With Beyonce?
Yeah, he went crazy with Beyonce, and then they had the whole the Carter's album. That ape shit.
Carter's
it was
album was
snapping.
cool.
That whole album actually snapped. Man. I ain't gonna hold you.
It was
But
cool.
I feel what
It
you're
was
saying
cool.
because that was his
But
first
I feel
real
like-
verse after the scrutiny from the Blueprint 3.
Hope's like,
and he had
rapping on this.
Drug
Like,
Dealers
you
Anonymous
get
with
Hope
Pusha
talking
T's
to it.
another one that's a really good later
Yeah.
Jay-Z verse.
Can we talk about that one day?
That's a great
Because that is an underrated. Jay-Z features got to go
Very
up there.
underrated.
And then, sorry, before we go, I just think of one more. I don't even listen to Jay-Z all that much. But other, We Made It, the remix that he did with Jay
Nigga,
Electronica, his verse on there was,
Oh, for the
Yeah.
album.
True.
he went
Oh,
nuts
yeah,
on that
true.
verse. But yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
go on.
No, you're good. You're good. So quick review. Middle of the album, we went from Poor Man's Dreams to Feel to Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe remix to Blow My High.
Yep.
My last 3 tracks. I got Hood Politics,
I've been
Off
made
of,
once since day one.
What do you niggas boo-boo?
Boo Boo. Boo Boo.
Damn, I love y'all,
that is,
yo. Y'all list is fire, yo. I'll bump y'all playlist
It's-
any day, yo.
Listen, this feels like a New York beat to me, and that's again reflected by my album. That's my favorite Kendrick. I want Kendrick on drums. I don't hate when he's on his musical shit, but I don't love it either. You know what I mean? I want to hear him just over bass, snare, just like snapping. And that's what
because
I feel
he's
like
a
my album
rapper.
represents.
He's one of the best rappers, if not the best.
Yeah,
And
so
you
I
just
feel like
want to hear a nigga rap sometimes.
Exactly.
The
So
fun-
I feel like you throw this album on. Go ahead.
all I was gonna say is his last song, his last line in that song is crazy how it pertains to this. It's crazy how one verse can mess up the game. This is his last line in Hood Politics. It's just crazy to think that was because of the Control verse. And then obviously we know what happened with Like That, and then everything that conspired there. So it's kind of weird that that he said that in 2015, and then that's still relevant. He was foreshadowing and he was recapping and foreshadowing at the same time.
Yeah, he know what it is. He doubled down on that. Let me give you one more verse.
Absolutely did.
He doubled
absolutely
down.
did. And
so
after Hood Politics,
he's a serial killer as a rapper. Like he's a serial killer artist. Like, you a serial killer in real life? There's
serial killer in real life.
Kendrick Lamar and rap music. Like that's what it is, bro.
So listen, Count Me Out. That's definitely by far my favorite track off of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. This is my least favorite. This is my least favorite Kendrick album by far. And I was listening through it because my actual other candidate off this album would have been Die Hard as well. That's a great song. So shouts to you, Branndon. This ended up being the one. I feel like this is an anthem. It's certainly, if we were just doing this as a top 12, which we're not, or you could, but this would be in my top 12 anyway. These aren't necessarily my top 12 Kendrick songs, though a lot of these, I'd say at least half of these would be on that list. Count Me Out would be. Count Me Out would be on one of Kyle's favorites. So
Count Me
he
Out
kills the song.
Great. And the beat switch.
And he's just Kendrick, he's flowing on it.
Body.
And then we close this album out with just a fucking banger. Well represented on this album is Damn. That's my favorite Kendrick album. We're closing out with another Damn anthem, and that's DNA. So I'll reverse it for you. Euphoria, Black of the Berry, Duckworth, Money Trees.
You ended your album with 2 intros, and I think that's amazing.
I think DNA is that 2-track.
No, I mean,
DNA track 2.
It was, but Blood was the first thing. You say wickedness, and then it led into. I'm just saying. No, that's what I was saying. Like it was technically the second track, but it was the first actual song.
I'll give you that, and then Count Me Out is technically the second intro track for the second.
It was the intro to the second. Which is really weird because like.
Just 2.
I'm also that also always confused me because like Worldwide Steppers was on Mr. Morale, and then there was like Count Me, and then everything else was on the Big Steppers, but like the song with Steppers in it wasn't on the Big. That always threw me off. I was like, "What are we doing here, Kendrick?" But you know what?
One thing they just label it like that. It's monetizing, bro.
Absolutely. But I was just like, it was one of those things where like when you look at it, it was like
soundtrack, and nobody says nothing, and we say, okay, 28 songs in a row. Let's get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Solid list, Kyle.
Kyle, I really like your list.
Appreciate that.
I'm not mad.
Appreciate that. No, I feel like
I'm
kind of repeating myself here, but I feel like it's straight hip hop. Straight hip hop. I feel like it's very digestible. I feel like it's very listenable. And
I think your list is for
I'm happy with the sequencing.
The people who want to vibe and who also want to hear some conscious, like hear a message, like hear a consciousness. Like I think your life your list has a good duality with that shit. Like it balances out. Mine don't.
I agree. I agree.
I
think I got the best album. I think I got the best album out of the 4, but I got to hear what y'all got too.
You don't even know what my album is.
Yeah, facts.
That's true.
Right,
but
I'm throwing it.
I fell in love with this album. I fell in love with this album. Oh, we got our first Branndon timeout.
I'm glad he's confident in it. Like, he deserves to be confident in it, but like,
his album got a bitch that lights sage. We's done off that. She lights sage around his house before that album gets played.
I don't know if there's any.
This one God feel like she walking around the house.
I don't know if there's any.
Takes a little holy water and just flicks it around that.
By song number 4, we having a seance. There's some candles lit. Beetlejuice. I ain't gonna say it 3 times, but you know.
Yeah, we know better. I don't want to die on this pod, so if you please just quiet now and just go on with your list, sir.
You are getting the tea too, sir.
He don't kill her. Beetle don't kill nobody.
Yeah.
He's not Bloody Mary.
Right.
Or not Bloody. Is it Bloody? Yeah, whatever. I was about
Duke,
to say
you up
3
next?
times.
You know, Duke's going next. I'm going last. So
yeah, he's going last. I respect his gangster, and this is podcast because he's production
P
team.
Diddy on your ass.
Hey, damn. Okay, no Diddy. Can we chill, bro? Got a hat on.
A lot of Diddy references too by Kendrick in his lyrics. That's one
saying
thing that stuck out to me was how many references to Puff.
Well, when
there
you
was
bring
in
up
his
black
music.
important people
Steve
until you
Chubb's
find
gonna
out that
crash some. The first one, like the last one, the classic. You don't have one.
Get him. Why'd you rap it like battle bars though? That was crazy.
Hey, he
Don
was.
DeMarco. You rapped it.
It's like that.
All right, so my list is gonna. Well, let me see. My title is. I'm a rapper, so I did mad introspective, stupid shit, bro. So it's chronological, and then with K, and then it's la, like the, and then it's a dash, like Mar, for Mars, because my nigga out of this world, so chronological. But we gonna get there.
I like it. You need to send me that exactly so I spell it correctly when I put the whole graphic thing together. But yeah,
I got you. But it's also because I did it in chronological order.
Yes, that makes sense. Go on.
So like my man's, shout out to you, bro. I know you black on the inside. My intro was A.D.H.D. That's the song that made me.
Let's
Double
fucking
intro.
go.
That's the song that made me fall in love with Kendrick Lamar. Like I was already hooked by the intro, and then when I heard "Hold Up," I was like, "Oh yeah, this nigga nice." When I heard A.D.H.D., I was 17, college, my dorm room. Wow, it felt good.
Hold Up is crazy. Song, by the way,
my second song is Rigor Mortis. I don't know how nobody, especially your rappy ass Kyle, did not have that up there with hip hop.
Okay, so
Keenan's
I'm gonna disclaim something right here, real quick about
rap on that.
I'm gonna disclaim something about this right here.
This man with rapping. I see what happened. I murdered your favorite rapper. He dead. I told you.
Okay, so I just want to say one thing. That's the song that made me a Kendrick Lamar fan because I was a little later. It was the BET Cypher that he had. It was him, B.O.B., Tech 9, MGK. Mm-hmm. So it was that I listened to, and then I listened to that, and then Kyle.
Oh, you're talking about the freshman tent? You're talking about the freshman Cypher?
I'm talking his 2011 Cypher. That was the same one with the Shady. That was the BET. And then Kyle told me to go listen to his freshman one, and that one was with Sci-Hi.
Oh,
yeah, that one was with Sci-Hi. That one with Lil B, and then it was so. That one I listened to afterward, and then he just became that. And then Rigor Mortis was the first song I ever listened to by Kendrick, and I was like, sorry, Meek Mill, because at that point Meek Mill was my favorite rapper for a couple years, randomly enough. It went from Meek Mill to I was in love with the Dream Chasers.
Went from a street gangster to a conscious thinker. That's crazy. I'm with it.
That's crazy.
Growth.
It's great.
Shout out to growth.
Yeah, but Rigor Mortis has a special place in my heart.
And then, for nobody saying it, shout out to me, Cartoons and Cereal. How y'all niggas is skipping?
Oh.
That's a classic.
Old school. Does it qualify? Does it qualify?
Yeah, it's a single let off. That's why I asked it in the group chat, because I would have had to take it off for Sing About Me, because that's my favorite Kendrick Lamar song on the low.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that like a mixtape?
I was like, is the singles count? Because my list is made for people who never. If I wanted to treat it like me, so if you never heard me, what is the greatest hits I can give you to make you fall in love with me as an artist, or at least like me or want to look into more of my music? This is how I made my list. So therefore, in chronological order, it was A.D.H.D, Rigor Mortis, Cartoons and Cereal.
Yep.
And that's Gunplay's best verse in the history of life. Number 4, Backseat Freestyle.
Ding, ding, ding.
Gotta be up there. But you got to think about the transitions too. The transitions with the beats is going crazy. Number 5.
Okay,
Y'all never
Kendrick's
heard
on 12.
bitch.
Kendrick's on
When
12.
we're having a
albums.
Sega game right on time. Go.
You feel me? You in the back seat. I don't even sit in the back seat because I'm too tall. Like, I'm in the back seat. It was crazy. Money Trees.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Mad City. Obviously, you gotta do it.
Okay. So I honestly want to say something about Mad City real quick. I think his third verse on that is slept on so much. I love that.
Just because the beat switch.
When I told you I could at 16, would you believe me? See me to be in. I think because he ended up doing that on the cipher, the West Coast cipher. If you remember that when he did that was Snoop, Corrupt, and all of them. He ended up doing that verse. But yeah, go on.
But I think that's the same reason why me and Kyle chose this next one I'm about to pick, because I think his third verse on Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe remix is slept on. Because I told you when I was 16, I got 16 to put a nigga right on a big screen. Like, kill niggas.
I know I did my I'm to get another.
You're making a statement.
I get them all when they try to kill my vibe. I am the last.
But it's hard to tell somebody when
he came on angry.
All get along.
He came on angry after Jay.
Gonna be down by the end of the song.
Like that, everything about that first half. I want to hear the rest of that first half of that song. I know it exists. Somebody has it. You didn't just stop after that. Like, trust me, there's a whole version out here somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So after that, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. I gotta do it one time for the one time. I'm surprised you ain't do it, Kyle. Cause we gonna be all right. Can you holler? Can you feel me? We're gonna be all right. You feel me? So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You got anthems.
Hey,
and then 8 I put up here because I think it's the most underrated Kendrick Lamar. Not just song. I want to say underrated Kendrick Lamar experience. I think you got everything from him in this one song that embodies who he is, and that is Untitled number 7.
Yeah,
so levitate, and then goes through that, and then he switched the beat.
You get it high.
Then he switched the beat, but that's when he really started rapping after that beat switch on the second verse. And then at the end, you kind of get like a behind the scenes insight because he's like, I had my background singers going, ooh, and then he's giving you an insight into the song, like why he's freestyling it. One of the dopest things ever because I know what it's like. So I'm like, yo, that always been one of my favorites. Yeah. After that, I got Element because there's no way I played that Element. And then after that, I got Humble because little bitch. Like, what the fuck? Ain't nobody really realize it's a fucking little, or it's a Big Sean diss. So it's mad funny to me that nobody realized it was a Big Sean diss. Get back, bitch, little bitch.
No, it's fine.
Then my outro, like my man Kyle said, you can't count me out. You can't count me out. Actually, no, that's not. Sorry, it was not like that.
Well, a little early.
Got him.
It was not like this. I apologize, but before my outros, can't count me out. Then it's
not like us. He says our outro.
Yeah, not like us.
Yeah, okay, it's hard not to. It's hard not to have that.
No, it's
go wrong with that.
And that's why I gotta say,
A minor.
Yeah, super stupid. It was wild crazy.
I'm interested to see what Keenan's list is like because I feel like after Kyle and Duke have went, my list is completely different. Like I just feel like
you got the most different list of everybody. Yours.
That's exactly how I felt when we did it.
It's the section that everybody respects. It's that Apple Music, Kendrick Lamar deep cuts. Here's some 12 of these tracks. And, smoke your drone, hit a bong, hit a dab, get high, let the lights off, put some freaking spokes in the sky, some stars gazing, and let it rock. Speaking of stargazing, that intro on that video, yo.
I need that now. I need it now. Whatever that is, that better be on that better be the next single he drops, or it better be on the album. It was like
I need it like right now.
Right. It was like when you heard the Heart Part 4, and then that second beat comes on, and you're like, what is this? And it's like, okay, it's Fear. Okay, good, we got it.
Not even that. It was like when you made the Humble video, and he's like, "Oh, look, these bitch niggas hating on me, but this nigga ain't free." I'm like, "Yo, you spaz." He said, "Always niggas start getting hitting the ball." And it's DJ Mustard on the beat again. Like, it was crazy. It was
DJ Mustard is dropping an album in a couple of weeks, so it might be on that.
Ooh, okay.
I saw Mustard dropping an album, and I got excited because it's like Kendrick has to be on that. Like, there's no way he's not.
Not after this, buzz. You've been gone for 4 years.
It's called Faith of the
last
Mustard.
person that gave you this buzz, I want to say, was YG, on his first album from Crazy Life. You might have got it off. Oh no, he got it off. What's his name? Damn, he's Roddy Ricch. Him and Roddy Ricch did that song. That was 5 years ago, minimum.
Mustard's been in and out. Yeah, it's been about.
But I'm saying he don't come around unless it's something like this. And when he come around and it's something like this, he drop heavy, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my,
I do gotta
that's
say,
my 12.
Oh,
I do want to say
back?
Duke mentioned Humble. Oh shit, that's back to back episodes.
Jordan 96, 97. Whoa.
I can remember the day Damn dropped.
Yep.
I can remember the day Damn dropped, and they played Humble and DNA back to back at the spot we were at, and that place went up. Like, that was a moment. Like, I feel like that's like Kendrick. Like, I'd say now is his peak, but before this summer, I think that was his peak. Was around like Damn.
Damn was his super peak for sure.
Yeah,
that to me is like his graduation.
Peak, yes, like he had the it was weird with.
I would say commercial and cultural before this summer. This summer, he went
absolutely
up another level, obviously, but I would say even cultural more than commercial. I feel like that's when Kendrick was just at his hottest. So
I would say at his hottest for sure. It was tough because, like, after Good Kid, Mad City, you have that, and then next year you have the Control verse and the BET cipher, and it's like, okay, where are you going from there? And then if he would have dropped an album, if he would have dropped like Damn right after, I was talking with actually a shout out to Corey. I was talking to a guy that I work with about it. I was like, if he would have dropped Damn right after Good Kid, Mad City, the amount of buzz that he would have gone would have been through the roof.
Would have been tremendous.
It would have been, but he dropped. I mean, it was my favorite album, so I'm not mad at it by any means. But he dropped To Pimp a Butterfly and just went like this way on everybody. And then he came back with Damn. But if he would have like rode the momentum from Good Kid, Mad City, and Damn was that next project, he would have went through the roof. But I think right now, if he was to drop, like, I don't think he drops anything bad ever, obviously. But like, if he drops like a certified, bona fide classic, they'll be the biggest hype he's ever had.
Oh, now he drops the banger. He drops a West Coast centric album. It's a super banger. Everybody's on it. We got nothing but hot lyrics on fire beats, and let's get it.
Yeah, like
I want him and YG to do another song.
Oh, that's an underrated song too. Shout out, yo, we got to make a feature list, yo. We're gonna do that one in person. Shout out to
I really be smoking, really be drinking.
And everybody free.
My crazy life.
Because I mean, I love we need to do multiple feature lists. Like we just multiple artists.
I would love feature lists,
but absolutely. But I'm gonna get into mine if everyone's good with that.
Yeah, let's get it, my boy.
So
the floor is yours.
So I'm gonna explain something with my title. So my titles have always been like a compilation and a combination of the artist's album's name. So like for Drake, it was I Know Nothing Was the Same But Take Care. That was the name of that album. With Kanye, hold on, it was Pablo's Beautiful Late College Graduation. So I have like a combination.
I remember that.
So I have like a combination of things. So my one for Kendrick is Damned Kid Pimped Section. Is the name of my album for it.
That sounds like Mad Libs.
Damn the kid pimped section.
It's like damned, like he's a damned, because it's pretty much Good Kid, Mad City, and it's just a reverse way. It's like a damned kid, like he was like he had no chance, but in a pimped section, like a section that was pimped out, obviously. So I have
a question to that.
Yeah,
I have a question to that, Keenan. Has anyone used the word damn with ED, like damned? Has anyone used that since like the 1940s?
I'll be damned.
I have no idea.
I'm sure Branndon heard a lot growing up.
Oh, shut
I'll be damned. But not.
Well, I'll be damned, Branndon. I didn't think you could move that hay bale on your own, brother.
Those damn kids, like
golly gee, Branndon, what do you do?
Goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, Branndon, you again.
What the fucking malarkey, Branndon?
Now, hold on. Now, I ain't never heard malarkey before.
That's too black.
That's for the
too black.
Malarkey.
That's funny.
Malarkey.
All right. Cut the malarkey. And so the picture that I used
a special breed of white to say malarkey.
That really is.
Yeah. Mayonnaise white.
You really are.
Talk is crazy.
Mayonnaise white.
Oh man.
But
the picture that I used was the most recent photo we've really seen. It's a kind of an iconic photo already. It was everybody on the stage at the pop out. Like that last, the not like right at the end. So I used that it was kind of like To Pimp a Butterfly 2.0, because obviously that was everybody and like his guys in front of the White House, but it was that. So it was kind of To Pimp a Butterfly 2.0, and I felt like that almost encapsulated everything Kendrick is, which is bringing people together. It doesn't matter what side or whatever, through the greatness of music. And my kind of goal was to put this together conceptually in a sense of like, all right, how can I tell Kendrick's story throughout his discography while still obviously making sure the music is great? So, and obviously one thing that you know with Kendrick is he's obviously a God-fearing man. He talks about Lucifer, all that kind of good stuff. And another symbolization of that always has been Shireen for him. So Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter, is my intro. That is the intro that I have. And then I love the way he's rapping in that. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's people don't talk about that song, but I think that's a great intro and it's a great song. And then I have it the same way it is on the album. I have it right into Don't Kill My Vibe, but I don't have the remix. I just have it right into it because obviously it leads the skit at the end leads right into it.
Yeah.
And then
that's my favorite version is over the remix. It's just the way that they was rapping on that. I couldn't
absolutely.
choose it. Because the breakdown at the end of the original, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
The breakdown at the end of the original is what makes me love that song so much more. Mm-hmm. But just because, like I said, I was making my list on like, yo, if this is the first time you heard this person, or you had to hear these 12 songs, I got to give you the best of these 12.
Oh, absolutely. No, he's the rap. So funny enough, like Kyle always said, I was always a rapidy rap guy, like really grown. So when that remix came out, I liked it way more than the original. And it didn't take me like until I was like in my 20s to realize that I liked the original actually more than the remix, even though I think both are phenomenal. So like it took me a while to get back there. And then obviously at the end of it, you have that skit saying basically get your freestyles ready. You go into Backseat Freestyle in Good Kid, Mad City. I actually go into King Kunta.
Ooh.
So even if you listen to that transition into King Kunta, you kind of have it fade out, and then you hear like the little bubble whatever fade in. I got a bone to pick, and then so King Kunta is one of my favorite Kendrick tracks, and I think it kind of still encapsulated like get your freestyles ready, but like he's just rapping at everybody. I was gonna kill a couple rappers, but I did it to them, so everybody's just like he's just rapping on that. And then I have that going right into DNA. And so I have a song in between, but I have DNA before a certain song. But I love DNA because DNA is just him rapping. Obviously, it's a little bit of a response to CNN, as he said, or Fox News, whatever, which one it was that he was talking about him about like with All Right when he did the I think at the BET Awards, he was like standing on top of the cop car doing that performance plus the song. But like Kyle, I actually have Poe Man's Dreams next. I like the way he raps on that song. Started up from the bottom and bill with you, be on my last dollar and split the bill with you. Just like little things like that. Don't call me lyrical. Just the way he raps early Kendrick. It's like, oh man, this guy, he can put together concepts while also putting the lyrics together. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be complex, but sometimes it is. So
it's captivating or captivating.
Comptivating's right. No, Comptivating's right.
That's absolutely the name of the album now. It's Comptivating.
Comptivating is right. Absolutely. West.
I do want to say something about it before I cut you off all the way.
No, you're good.
About do y'all know the background of DNA? That the background story how it was made?
I actually don't. What is it?
No,
he rapped it a cappella. and Mike Will made the beat around what he actually rapped.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's why it sounds so distorted and sounds like it's off beat a little.
Especially, I know the murder, conviction, burners, boosters, burglars, balls is dead. Yeah. Like, how do you come up with that flow without a beat? Like, that's kind of crazy. Like,
it's easier to rap off beat. It's easier to rap
like
without a
Kendrick
beat
Lamar
with your own style than it is on beat with the same style. So if somebody raps super crazy dope and the producer's good enough to hold up, I can hear that. Let me put a beat to it and make it. And then you're like, yo, I want it to sound like I'm fighting the beat. That's what he said to him. Mike was like, I got you. Less than 24 hours later, DNA.
That's crazy. And so after Poor Man's Dreams, I have All Right, which is top probably 7 for my favorite Kendrick songs. You don't get DNA without All Right, even though I have All Right after DNA in the sequence. Like, you don't. There's a couple different times you get the same thing, where you don't get this song without this song, and that was one of the instances there. And then I think, no, it's not on Kyle's. I was gonna say it's almost on everybody's. I have A.D.H.D. right after All Right. The way
greatest song he ever dropped.
the way it leads in. Because at the end of All Right, it's I was feeling conflicted. Misusing my influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power, full of resentment. That whole skit, the Pac skit, the way it kind of leads into like A.D.H.D. It's like, oh, I get why. It's like if you listen to it and when you hear it back, the skit makes more sense. Like I sequenced this in a certain way to where I even
you conceptualized it.
I really made it.
Crazy. From what you were given. Not like on your own, like from what you were given and how it transitions. I understand.
Yeah, so like I tried to make it all make sense together, which is why the sequencing took so long and why I had to like maybe put a song and maybe take out a song because of it. But then I have A.D.H.D. flowing right into Money Trees. That might be J-Rock might have Kendrick's best feature verse, meaning like on Kendrick's songs the best feature. It might be. I'm have to go through them all, but it's obviously
strong case.
It's on the short list. It's
that's J-Rock's best feature. I'll give you that.
Oh, absolutely. I was gonna say Kendrick. Feature. I mean, shout out one of the ones that will never be talked about on Complexion, Rhapsody's verse on Complexion. Let me talk my Stu Scott slamming on my two.
Rhapsody album's fire.
Rhapsody new album is fire, and she all she does is put out fire, but she just puts out fire. She had the best verse on Reason's whole album, and I'm here for his first album, but I love that.
Great artist.
But the next song is the one that I knew no one was going to have, and it is the For Sale interlude on To Pimp a Butterfly. And the reason why the For Sale interlude is on there is because Kendrick, throughout the entire thing, is having this battle kind of with... My name is Lucy Kendrick. You introduced me, Kendrick. It's kind of like he's going through. You can hear him because he changes his voice. He loves to do that. Like when he's talking as an adolescent, he does the same thing as Fear. Talks to 16 and like whatever. But it's
that's how I feel about this ain't or for free interlude.
Yes.
Free. Yeah. Tell me that's what I'm like. Yo, son.
You didn't even present me a Brazilian wavy for the 4th, like the kind of thing. So like, I have that one there because obviously his battle with that is a big reason why Kendrick is Kendrick. And so like the way he kind of floats through that. And then the skit at the end, it ends with Until I Came Home. And then I put that right into Die Hard. So Die Hard's the next one on my album. I popped it, and then I hope I'm not, because I love that song with Bob. That's one of my
very good song.
Yes. I don't have it on here so I can say it. Auntie Diaries and Mother I Sober were 2 songs where I was like, I am this close to putting them on. Mother I Sober is one of those songs where it's like, oh my God.
Sometimes you gotta listen to like how me and BP, I swear to God, I fought for Dying for Thirst. Bad. Yeah. Bad in my head.
I had to throw that on mine. That had to be on mine.
Bad in my head, bro.
That's one of those ones there. Absolutely. And then so Die Hard flows into These Walls. And These Walls amazing, and then These Walls flows into Sing About Me. You don't get These Walls. You don't get these walls without Sing About Me. And I was this close to ending it taking off one of the songs and ending it with Keisha's song, because you don't get Keisha's song, you don't get Sing About Me without Keisha's song, you don't get These Walls, you
That's what
reference
people
them in
understand.
so that's what I'm saying. So like I was this close.
I'm surprised none of y'all put on
You was there. You was almost there.
That's crazy.
But here's the thing. If I would have put you, I would have had to have put I, because like I don't feel like, for me, I don't think you can put you without I. But I would have used the actual album version, not the single version, because I love the NEGUSA with me at the end. But so that was mine. I'm probably gonna be upset with it in like a day or so. I actually appreciate all of you guys giving me the floor for this. Like, you guys are like letting me rock because you're like, this guy doesn't matter.
You have a good app. Like you said, you got a real Kendrick list, and I can't. You know what I mean? You surprised me like BP, because I thought everybody was out here just gonna do the you know what I mean? I did the. I'm the one of everybody who did the popular list. Y'all did the real. I'm a real fan, cuts inside, and I had to cut a lot of stuff that I didn't even want to cut. Like, that's why I had to ask about certain songs, because I was like, yo, King's Dead got to go on my show. Like, there's certain songs, Scenes About Me, Die in the Thirst alone. Even I just take that snippet. Let me just get the snippet of Die in the Thirst. The little half part. I need that.
Yeah.
So I'll say this, Duke.
I'm happy everybody's list is different, for real. It actually contributes to all our personalities and why everything works together.
Absolutely. Yeah. Kyle, what were you saying?
I was going to say Duke's definitely got the closest to like a greatest hits, but it doesn't feel that way. Like, your shit is still all bangers. Your shit doesn't feel like a mainstream, like, now that's what I call hits type Kendrick album. You know what I mean? You're still actually
I'm not a now 98, you bum ass.
Now 98. Yeah, that's what I call.
If that was gonna be it, he would have had to put like swimming pools. It would have had to have been.
I couldn't.
Drank.
I'm a real fan. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I love all four of our albums.
Off Cartoon and Serial alone, I couldn't do that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, that's fair.
I want to hear I do want to hear everyone's albums. Like, I'm actually gonna go back and listen. I think I'm the only friggin' Spotify user here. I think y'all are all Apple Music. I know Branndon and Keenan are.
And you can't find Cartoon and Serials on nothing but YouTube. It's not official drop.
You can. That's the only reason why I'm like hesitant about Cartoons and Serial on Dukes, because you can't find it on DSPs.
If that's the case, I already told you what I got it in for.
That's true. That's true. But I say we keep it,
and then Not Like Us, and then I slid it in.
True that. So I mean, you know, for your DSP's version of the playlist, I guess you just slide in, count me out. But
I got you.
Take off Cartoons. But no, I do want to hear everyone's albums like 1 through 12 and see how they flow, because I mean, I think that's the most fun part of it, is like choosing, all right, what goes here at track 10 or what goes at track 5. This is a general hip-hop question and maybe even a general music question for all of y'all, since everyone here is a big music fan. What track numbers stick out to you? Like, to me, obviously the intro is most important. I think that's the case for a lot of people. You know, it's your first impression. But for whatever reason, like, I feel like when I'm making these albums, like, track 3's got to be big. I feel like track 3, track 5, track 1, for whatever reason, those always feel like the big ones for me. How do y'all feel? Yeah. Whether it's you listening to music, whether it's you creating an album like this, what track numbers stick out to you?
Intro, for somebody who does music, the intro always mattered to me. As somebody who understands music, the intro, like Keenan said, DNA is not the intro, but DNA really is the intro, but it's really number 2. So for me, it's always going to be track 3. Track 3 is going to be the first one where either, first of all, I'm going to give you a chance on your intro that maybe track 2 might be cool. If track 2 is a banger, or if track 2 I'm rocking with, or if it's just trash, I'm going to give you 3 shots. Everybody know 3 strikes you out. So on track 3, you have to come with something. Then I'm a mid-person artist, so track 7 always has to hit for me. And lastly, it has to be the one before the outro, because the outro you could just be talking, but the one before the outro, I feel like you want to end on a little bit of a high. And that's all.
Yeah,
it's really interesting.
So I would say, I guess it's gonna be 3, 7, and 11. Damn! Shout out to God. That was a good one.
All right, Branndon, you go next, and then I'll go.
So obviously the intro, like, you got to have a good intro. Like that opening track, like I feel like the opening track kind of has to set the tone for what that album is going to be like, and like the whole vibe for that album. And then I feel like after that, your two, I agree with Duke. Three it's got to be one of your heavy hitters. 3 and 4, honestly, that's why I put Poetic Justice at 4 on mine. But to me, one of my favorite parts about an album is how it ends. So like that 9 through 12. If you've got good songs from 9 through 12, then generally those 12 tracks it's going to be a good body of work. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, tracks 1 through 8 are great songs. You might have, let's say you have one skip in there. You come through 9 through 12 and you put some heavy hitters on there, like some high quality songs. I feel like it gets you a little bit more staying power with your album, because a lot of people can go through from start to finish and listen to it. Because the way I look at it, if you put good tracks 1 through 6, 1 through 7, then nothing but fillers from 8 to 12, then like a lot of people are going to say, hey, I'm going to listen till track 6, and then after that, like, I'm done. So I really feel like how you end an album, to me, like what I look for, like how an album ends, like that's to me one of the most important things.
That's really interesting.
I agree with like what everyone's saying there. Obviously, the intro matters. It all depends, to me, too, a little bit of the artist. So, like, if I'm listening to Drake, per se, I'm using him for a specific example, I need the outro to be fired. I need the intro to be fired. Like, I need, like obviously, obviously Kyle's asking a more generic question rather than just a singular artist. But, like, I'm just pointing him out because, like, with Drake specifically, his intro and his outro. Because I know other people on outros kind of do different things, but when you think outro Drake, you're like, oh, Do Not Disturb, The Ride, like these tracks are like, okay, these are really like,
nah, they're particular. Like this is meaning to say something.
Yeah, like he makes his point on his outro. So that's one of them. And when you were talking about it, for me, it was like between tracks 6 and 8, because as Duke was saying, you're gonna have an intro. Obviously, you're going to have your second and third song. So, like, by that point, I'm bought in, I'm not bought in. But say, even if you are kind of bought in by that point and you're just listening through, when you get to the 6-ish, 7-ish range, you almost can get fatigue if you're doing the same thing. So, like, if you're listening to, like, Migos kind of have, like, the same sound throughout, if they're by track 6 or 7, they haven't switched up themselves from Migo. I mean, RIP Takeoff, obviously they're not like the same exact, but you know what I mean? That group kind of made the same stylish style of music. If by 6 or 7 you're having the same song just reincarnated, then it's like, I don't need to listen to the rest of this. Like, I kind of can just go. And it's where I feel like where your really good artists they'll try something, but they'll also throw in an interlude at that point, and I feel like those interludes kind of bring you to the second part of the albums, and that
gives you a refresher.
Or gives you a refresher, whether it's a skit, whether it's a short song, whether it's whatever it is. Typically around 6 to 8, your really good artist will give you something for a jolt to get you to that second part of the album. So that would be probably the most important. Obviously, intro and outro, I think, reign supreme for me, because that's your first thought and your last thought. But, like, the middle there, too.
I think there's so many albums that I've probably come around to later that maybe I started off on the wrong foot just off the intro. Like, the intro was maybe too boring or too generic, or it's especially, like, if an artist has a long layoff, like in this case now maybe a year and a half. Back in the day, like 2 years, 3 years would be a long layoff. But if you, like, let's say we haven't heard features from you or a lot of shit in a while, track 1, something like either super pop or something that definitely could have been in the middle of the album, or just, an 8-minute track, something like that, you're going to lose me. And that's even if the song's incredible. You know what I mean? You need it to be, like, quick and to the point when it comes to especially hip hop. R&B could be a little different, but I'm sure there's tons of albums that have lost me just off, the first few tracks, right?
I have a quick question for you on that, Kyle.
About that, because it's like, you could go first because I'll never lose mine.
No, you're good. I know what mine is. You're good.
It's just because I was in the era when I know when that first track they was talking on the track like, yeah, nigga, you know what the fuck it is. We back.
Exactly.
But like that's the intro. You know what I mean? You do it every
a little laugh.
Oh, you thought you left us?
Oh, you thought we was finished? You thought we was done? We ain't done. We coming back for another. Wait, whoa.
And then they'll go into track 2 and you're like, Dipset. Ow. Yeah, you feel me? Shout out to the, you know what I mean?
Sounded like some DJ drama opening.
You feel me?
Like
That's another thing. That's a DJ drama
legendary DJ Khaled.
You remember what was a dedication? What was it, D3 or D4? He's like, I've been talking shit for a generation now. It's
that was
beat up.
This is the first time you heard a black president. Yeah, D3. That was D3.
DJ Drama might be the best shit talker as far as like DJs go. Like,
you know,
Drama's up there.
Meek Mill's coming, daddy.
That's wild. No Diddy.
But Kyle, what I was gonna ask you was, you were talking about something kind of losing you if it doesn't hit you instantly. An album I know you like a lot's The Life of Pablo, and that starts off with Ultra Light Beam, and that's slower, even though it's a phenomenal chance first, and I know you like the song a lot. Did that throw you off initially, or was that something that actually like drew you in? If you
specifically to that album, I think I was at a place in that was 2016, right, Pablo?
2015, yeah.
2015. I was at a place with Kanye in 2015.
That was 2015?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I swore that was 16.
We old, y'all.
You know, it was 15 because Yeezus came out in 13. That came out in 15, and then because it came out the same year as the Pimp a Butterfly. No, I'll check the date just to make sure. But I'm pretty positive.
Check the date, 'cause y'all
I was at a place with Kanye in 2015 where a lot of people were with Kanye by the time
it was early 2016. It was early 2016. It was Valentine's Day 2016. Go on.
Okay, yeah.
At least it was 16. Damn, 15. Me thinking this.
I was at a point in my fandom with Kanye, or my listening-ship with Kanye in 2016 where a lot of people are now, or where they were with Donda, which is like they were just sick of listening to Kanye talk, right? Mm-hmm. That was actually peak Kanye Kardashian. Like he was fully LA Kanye. He was like fully celebrity Kanye. And I was kind of done with him. So it's kind of silly now to look back at it, but when I first listened to that album and I first saw the track list, I actually felt it was like a safe Kanye album compared to what was his prior discography. Now looking back and, listening to it, as Keenan said, that grew to be one of my favorite Kanye albums. I think it's far from safe. I think it's very experimental. Mm-hmm. And, Kanye pretty much ever since My Dark Twisted Fantasy has treated his albums almost like a DJ Khaled album, right? Like all his features have a purpose. I feel like I'm on the Kanye pod again when we did the albums, but like all his features have a purpose. And like Life of Pablo, that's a ton of features. You could argue it's too many features, but he uses them all well.
But he did different variations of each song too. That's the difference. He had different features on each song and everything. And then first of all, controversial, that nigga said if she got she bleached her asshole,
model, and she just bleached
her asshole.
I'm gonna feel like
an asshole. What? First of all, hard bar. Not gonna lie.
On
what?
I didn't love the line, but the beat on a fire beat. The song's fire.
That's stupid fire. First of all, that concept is super fire. Because imagine if she really did, and then you was popping in the back, and then now you got bleach in the middle, staying on your belly button. I mean, like what?
Hey yo,
I'm gonna feel like an asshole. Yes,
I'm gonna do the timeout for Branndon.
All right, I feel like an asshole talking about it.
I don't like this.
Got the asshole spot.
I don't like
Got the asshole.
I'm about to get a tech. I'm about to get a tech.
I'm gonna
get a baseball hat.
I'm gonna get the tech too, and you're gonna die, and it's gonna be over with. We're just gonna put
shout out to the Mets, best baseball team in the fucking league here.
They better come with 3 switches. I'd crash out like just Millie Mel if I had to.
It was like, damn.
I do want to say while we're on the track list topic. Listen, this was a lot of fun.
Oh, go, Kyle. Sorry, you go. No, you go, Kyle.
We'll redo it.
This was a lot of fun. We don't even need to redo it. Kyle, that was a lot of fun.
We'll 3-2-1 it. We'll 3-2-1 it, all right? We'll 3, 2, 1 it
Yo,
again. And then
slow,
I'll tell everybody. I'll tell everybody how
Bust
fun it was.
And remix, wacko, juvenile, skip. Gotta know you clap.
Listen, I hope y'all had as much fun as I did making this album. We got to continue to do this. We have plenty more artists. We have plenty more genres. We've only done 3 hip hop artists, really. So, I mean, yeah, we got to tap into this. We need Andrew Franklin back. I know Andrew Franklin's itching to get back on this. Shit, you mentioned Don Toliver. You mentioned Eminem. Those are a few artists we could do. Didn't expect to say Eminem there, actually. I know 50 we could do. There's a lot of artists. I would love to see like which direction we all go with as far as albums.
I would love to do an R&B artist because I'd love to see. I would love to be interested because obviously, like with obviously not that hip hop's not fun at all, but like it's interesting to see where people's R&B mind goes.
Where y'all got with top 12 ushers?
I was just about to say I think we missed the boat not doing Usher at Super Bowl time. We should have done that.
Michael Jackson too.
But maybe we'll start with Usher with this album series. I mean, we can talk about it. We got the group chat, obviously. At the end of the day, when we do this, like I've said prior, go listen to the Drake one, go listen to the Kanye album before you listen to this Kendrick album one, or listen to it in reverse. Listen to Kendrick, then Kanye, then Drake. Either way, our point of this, it's a celebration of the artist at the end of the day. The fact that we can make 4 different albums that go 4 different directions speaks to the versatility, speaks to the greatness of these artists. And listen, we wanted to give Kendrick his flowers while he's here. It's the summer of Kendrick, like undisputably is MVP of rap. It's wrapped up. It's July. It's wrapped up. We knew who it was last month, right? With Kendrick. So this is for sure a moment in hip hop. It seems like we haven't had a moment like this in forever. And yeah, we want to bless y'all with this, with Kendrick's discography.
Hold on.
Hopefully y'all go ahead. I was just going to real quick. I was just going to say real quick, go back and listen. Like, I hope this inspires y'all who listen to this podcast to like go back and listen to Kendrick's catalog, like all the way through.
I hope y'all hear songs y'all never heard before.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So one thing I wanted to think of, you're obviously talking about we haven't had something like this in a while. With like the rap game being this kind of frenzy and kind of thing in a while. Would the last one have been Control?
The last big moment in hip hop?
No, I mean like the time the rap game was in a frenzy like this. Would it have been Control? I'm not saying there could be something.
In a frenzy? I'd have
back to back. Back to back probably would have been. I was just trying to think of like between the.
For sure.
I mean,
probably
push
2016.
Push Drake.
Yeah.
The Push and Drake.
Switched over there. That's the same year.
Push and
But
Drake.
even then, like,
I don't know.
Like Push and Dre was like kind of came and went. Honestly, like
it kind of did. I don't know if there's been a frenzy like
back
this.
to back
Honestly,
was playing in the clubs, like not like us is playing in the clubs now. So I think
that was a moment. That was a moment. I would say this. I would say there hasn't been a frenzy like this since, man, I think it's been a long time. I would say even since the 2000s, like late 2000s. I would have to think about it as far as frenzy goes. As far as someone having a moment, where you're like, oh no, by far he's the one right now. To me, Drake when he dropped, when Drake, 08 Wayne, and when Drake dropped, if you're reading this, it's too late. That stuck out to me as far as like, okay, he's by far the one. We even talk about it.
That had a little segment. I understand the frenzy because he just dropped randomly, and if you want to compare that to frenzy, I'm gonna go with Lemonade over. Then I'm gonna go with that. And then on top of that,
that's R&B. That's R&B.
No, I don't mean like in the rap game. I just mean in everything in the frenzy.
Keenan space.
Lemonade had a life in a frenzy.
If we're talking about rap, though,
no.
If we're talking about rap, which is getting up,
and then I want to say Frank Ocean was it Endless or Blonde?
Blonde. When Blonde came out in
Blonde after Endless,
oh my!
That had the shit and fucked up. It had everything fucked up. Because you just dropped the album 12 hours ago that was crazy, all right, cool, and mid, and then you drop a crazy classic, independent, and you
Keenan, 5 years after he dropped his first, this was like
you did some ill shit, bro.
Keenan, you might be right. Control might be the last time shit was really in a frenzy like this.
Like I think back to back. I think back to back or control, because like back to back, the way Kendrick's kind of owning this, but Drake didn't do it in the same way. Because the thing with Kendrick is obviously there was first person shooter comes out, then Like That comes out, so rap's already like it's heated, and then you've got obviously, and then you've got Drake coming out with Push Ups, then Taylor Made, and then it's Euphoria. And then it's 616, so like we're building up to it. And then Family Matters comes in, and Drake throws his haymaker. And then it gets literally just shot down because of Meet the Grams. Regardless,
it's like if a nigga hit you in the face with his best punch, and you just ate that shit. Like, oh, I thought you was gonna hit harder.
Yeah,
now you get hit back in the face, and it's like,
and then come back with a body slam. And then come back with a body
slam.
You
got the smelling salt. You like the ref is wilding like.
And then, and the thing about Not Like Us that's made it so crazy is you've had obviously Not Like Us came out on May 4th. Shout out to Dad's birthday, but it came out on May 4th, and so you just let that ride, and then you have the concert. You have the pop out concert, and then on Juneteenth of all days, of course. And then you
play this shit 5 times in a row. Everybody in the crowd saying, "I just had to pop out and show me."
Certified man, I'm the one up the scope. And then you go on to the music video coming out on July 4th. Like he just hasn't let it breathe.
Wop,
like
wop, wop, wop.
He's on his ass.
The only thing that I, is like with it, and I seen that other people and podcasters talked about was he didn't say Drake's name, which is understandable. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't need it. It's symbolic, but that's on Kendrick shit.
Kendrick's so like he's so like you have to analyze him so in depthly. You're like, wait a second, how many push-ups is he doing? Okay, what does this mean? What does this mean?
Everything. And niggas don't know that they was like, the cargo ships.
Yeah.
That people were associating it with sex trafficking, like calling nigga a pedophile and all that.
The only thing I wish
and all them shits is white, but black people's in it. So it's like,
and then you see obviously his wife at the end dancing. You got him dancing,
especially because they was dissing that. They was like, she doesn't look like she want to be there, and then that bitch could walk better than him.
And then who was it? And who was it directed by?
Sorry,
Dave Free.
And you know what I'm saying? Dave Free.
You gonna get Dave Free?
I think
it was directed by BP.
He said BP.
Yo, let me get a glizzy, dog. No homo, dog. No diddy.
Hey, yo. I'm about to lock you. You gonna be one of them KKK Jones. You gonna be with the diddler.
Give me one of them KKK Jones with the ketchup, no mustard.
Talk about a glizzy over here with your freaky ass.
You talking about locked up in jail for the rest of his life.
You look like you might make a good Yankee hot dog.
Hey, let me ask you all this. Obviously, none of us were actually really. None of us were really born in this era. None of us were, or we were born there, but we weren't old enough to enjoy it. But to me, Not Like Us is this generation's Hit 'Em Up. If you're going to compare it to any beef song throughout history, I would have to say it's Hit 'Em Up because it's so direct. He's like calling him out by name. He's being disrespectful.
First off, fuck your bitch and the click to claim.
I don't think nothing's like a Hit 'Em Up, but I guess if you could compare it, I'll give you a little relay on that. Because Biggie never said nothing for real. And Biggie knew like he fucked with Pac. Pac just did that shit out of spite because niggas got in his head. And Suge Knight was talking, and Suge Knight is Suge Knight. Like Suge Knight's a real gangster, so I don't give a fuck.
Scary.
But I do.
Scary. But I think it's just like he
I
called
think
him
if
out by
Biggie
name.
and him did some real just lyrical shit, it was just beef, then Biggie would have topped like he would have topped off on that battle. Pause. That sounded crazy. I'm sorry. No Diddy. No diddler.
No diddler.
For real.
I just feel like Biggie would have beat that nigga. No funny. I think Biggie wins that battle, and everybody
when it just comes to rap,
I put Biggie over Tupac in my favorite rappers list. Biggie's my favorite rapper every other time. Besides Lil Wayne, it goes Lil Wayne, Biggie, then it's Pac, then it's fucking Rakim, then it's me. I don't give a fuck.
I think Biggie is the best rapper I've ever heard. I don't know if he's my favorite rapper per se, but I think he's the best rapper I've ever heard.
I should send y'all snippets. I'm really about to send y'all snippets.
Who's the best rapper you've ever heard?
Best rapper
I think just skill for skill, I think Biggie's the best rapper I've ever heard.
So no, I'm talking. Who were you saying? I didn't catch you.
Biggie.
Oh, Biggie, sorry.
Okay.
So I didn't
Mic
catch.
don't
I didn't
work.
catch.
Like
No,
we've
I
been
didn't
telling
catch
you
the name.
from
That
the
was
beginning of
my
the show.
Yeah.
Your mic
No,
is
Biggie.
trash. You can't be heard.
That has nothing to do with the mic. The mic's fine.
Wow.
No, you got headphones
Actually-
on like this nigga.
Okay.
But hold on. Let me get
I
my
was talking
full,
about I was talking about BP.
Kyle, go on.
Not Like Us and Hit 'Em Up. They both sound like both beats almost sound cartoonish to me. Like Not Like Us is like what someone imitating a West Coast beat would be, almost that mustard beat. Not saying it's not fire, but Hit 'Em Up, it's got that same vibe to me.
Not
Hit 'Em
Like
Up's got
Us
that.
samples Ether, bro. That bugged me out when I found that out. It samples Ether's beat. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Hit 'Em Up was a whole different. Hit 'Em Up, I said, the nigga said, I fucked your wife. We bust on bad boys, nigga. Fuck for life. That is crazy.
So that right there.
That was
that's
diabolical.
exactly why. That's exactly why.
Fake news. There's real news and there's fake news, and I'm with you. So
Duke, you just hit it on the head. That's why I compare the two, because what do we remember from Hit 'Em Up? Him talking about how he fucked Fate. First off, I fucked your bitch, da-da-da-da-da, right? This one,
first bar.
Line, the A minor.
You couldn't even hear the beat
bar.
yet.
First bar.
That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. West side.
That's the same thing with this shit. With Not Like Us, we're going to be 10, 20 years down the road.
Mustard on the beat, hope. Nigga, that has nothing to do with fucking my bitch, bro.
Listen. Listen. We're still gonna be 20 years down the road from now. We're gonna be, much older men, and we're still gonna hear somewhere in the spot A minor.
I'll give you that.
Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. It's gonna have that endurance.
You can't fuck with nobody from the West Coast when they say wop 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 wop. I don't care how many times you wop, nigga. You whopping. It's whopped out. Nigga, you whopped out.
Yeah. OVO.
And you know how many jokes everybody in the world probably said that before, but now it's on wax by one of the biggest artists. And then the nigga used a Bill Cosby joke and an R. Kelly joke at the same time? Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, everyone pause for quite a second. All right. This was the Warner Brothas Podcast. Appreciate Duke. I appreciate Branndon being here. Of course, Kyle, as always. Kendrick Lamar, creative album. We love breaking this stuff down. It's amazing. TikTok, YouTube, obviously on Instagram as well. You can find us there, Warner Brothas Podcast. We appreciate all of you. Check out the albums we're putting together because they are fire. Dive back into Kendrick's discography. If you didn't know, now you know.
Nigga.
Enjoy. and everyone enjoy themselves.
Feel like a man.